So let's continue with time processing after we looked at date processing for a little bit. So for time processing, R relies on the POSIX classes, which are a standardized version of Unix developed in the 1980s. So time values are intrinsically processed using the POSIXct class. And the POSIXct class represents actually combined date and time values. This is how you can combine actually both date and time if you need that type of time stamping capability. So here's an example of that. So here we have the date 2014 12/28 and then a time 09:59:43, let's say. And we want to go ahead and convert that or represent that as a POSIX time. So we say as POSIXct, CT for common time, gives us a variable TM1. So if you were to print that TM1, you would get that representation. By the way, it automatically includes the automatic time zone. We'll talk more about time zones in a few minutes. There's actually some pretty good support in R for different time zones. Now, similar to string processing, you can also do different time parsing specifications for hours, minutes, and seconds. You have the different percent values. Example, so we have as POSIXct, we've got right here, and I'm specifying a new time zone. Or here we have the year as a number, followed by the time. So the format here is day, month, 4-digit year, a space, hours, minutes, seconds. So that's how we specify. So that's, if you look right here, 25th of July, 2013, and then we have the number here for the time with the colons right here. And again, the time zone in this case is by default the time zone we're in, which is Eastern Daylight Time, or whenever this was created. Now, of course, you can do some pretty simple, or pretty sophisticated, I should say, time calculations. Time values can be compared, they can be added, they can be subtracted. Here's some examples of that. So here we have a time value for 2013 7/24 at a particular time. Oops, actually this is a repeat here. Let me just fix this here for you. There you go, that's fixed. So we have the time right here. Got a second time value right here, so custom format specification. And then we can say, is time 2 greater than time 1? What's the difference between time 2 and time 1? Can I add some amount of time to time 1? By the way, it automatically adds it in terms of hours by default. Now there's a bunch of functions to help you get the current date, the current time, and so on. So for example, to get the current date and time as POSIXct objects, use the now or the sys.time functions. So now returns you date and time, or sys.time, very similarly, same format. You can get the current date by itself using the today object. So if you want a date object instead of a POSIXct object, then you're better off using today. Now there is also another class called POSIXlt, which is stands for local time, that allows you to build time classes for easy extraction of specific components of time. So for example, if you say as.POSIXlt of some time and date, then you can say things like tm1.lt $min, so that gets you to the minute component, or $hour, or $day, or $month. So if you eventually want to parse a date apart with specific naming of the attributes or naming of the properties of the date, then using POSIXlt is very useful. Now, while the built-in time and date processing of R is often sufficient, there are several packages available that simplify date and time processing tasks. Two of the most popular packages are LuberDate and cron. But these are add-on packages and must be downloaded and installed before they can be used.